I've got the new Urban Decay and Game of Thrones collaboration to share with you guys today. Urban Decay did send this over to me in PR. I nearly fainted when I opened the box. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan and I'm crazy about makeup, so like two worlds colliding, I just was so excited when I had heard about it. So I posted a picture on Instagram and a lot of people wanted me to do this video. I was kind of pricing out the collection because it was saying coming soon on Sephora and Ulta. And I saw on Sephora that they're selling the PR box, but it says I think $200 on Sephora. I'm pretty sure their pricing is wrong because on Ulta it says $250. And on the Urban Decay website, it also says $250. So I think you can purchase the entire PR box for $250. Had I not been sent this, I would have probably purchased the PR box. And there are some items in here, just because I'm nuts, that I'm contemplating buying when it's released too, just to have backups of certain things, because I'm, like I said, I'm crazy about the show and I'm crazy about makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the whole collection for you guys. And then I also did a demo, which is the look that's on my face right now. I've got quite a few of the products on my face right now, so you can kind of see how I got the look and how the products went on for me and kind of how I used them. This was inside the box. It's kind of a little pamphlet. They totally collaborated with HBO too, so it's like official Game of Thrones stuff up on here. It's pretty cool. I wanted to kind of read inside the pamphlet here. It says that winter is finally descending on the Seven Kingdoms, so the time has come to prepare yourself for this Sunday. The Urban Decay Game of Thrones collection is a limited edition lineup of palettes, lip shades, eyeliners, and brushes, all inspired by our favorite places and the strong women of Westeros. So the collection came with 4 24/7 Glide-On eye pencils. This is the outside box packaging. There are 2 shades that are kind of like for King's Landing, which are these bottom 2, and then the top 2 are kind of for Winterfell, the White Walkers. I have worn all 4 of these pencils and I have 2 of them on my eyes today. For me, the 24/7 Glide-On pencils don't last in the waterline where I typically wear a pencil liner. I do have the shade, the Night King, on my waterline right now. It's lasting okay. I've had it about 2 hours on, but as time goes on, it's going to start migrating into my inner corners. I wish so bad that these pencils lasted on my waterline because Urban Decay comes out with some of the prettiest colors. That being said, I have got the Lannister Gold kind of as a base on my inner corner. This pencil is a stunning, stunning metallic shade. Today is the first day that I've worn one on the waterline and it is slightly wearing off on the outer corners and slowly migrating inwards. And it's really sad for me because the color is so pretty. But I have found a way to make these work for me and they do last really, really well on the skin. My mom actually loves these pencils to line her upper lash line. I typically use a liquid liner, therefore I don't use a pencil on top. So let me go ahead and swatch them. This is the first one. This is called Lannister Gold. It is a stunning metallic shimmer. Like mine are kind of worn down already because I've worn these quite a bit actually. And then the next one is called Winterfell Snow. This one is kind of in a transparent white base, but it's got multi-dimensional like blue sparkles in it. Don't know how well you can see it there, but over different colors this will kind of shift a little bit different, and over a black as well this pops a little bit more. You can see really pretty blue sparkles in it. I've kind of put it on the inner corner a few times. And then the next one is called the Night King. This is the one that I have on my waterline today. I wish so bad that this would just last because I think the color is stunning right there. So that one is the Night King. And then the last one is called Dragon Smoke. This is again in a black base, but there are red and what is the other color? There's like red and purple micro shimmer or glitters in them. You can really see them when you put them over, like I said, that black eyeliner. Those sparkles really pop out. I wonder how well. I'm trying to get you to see it on camera there. And again, I think that would look stunning on the waterline, but especially both of these colors being really dark, I can really see that transfer to my inner corner. So you've got Lannister's Gold, Winterfell Snow, the Night King, and Dragon Smoke right there. Next up we have got the lipsticks. These are the boxes that they come in. The boxes on all the stuff say HBO on them too. And the one that I have on my lips today is the safe one. It's Sansa Stark and it's a sheer formula. I really like the shade of this one because I'm a big nude lipstick wearer, but also it looks like I have a gloss on. That's how shiny it is. I just ate some pumpkin seeds, so I'm going to put some more on. It's a super shiny, really wearable formula. I have it on with the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in Wallflower, which I don't know if they still make that one or not. So Sansa Stark is my favorite because it's the one I'm going to get the most use out of. But here's the packaging on all of the lipsticks. It's super cool. So this one is Sansa Stark right here. Let me go ahead and swatch it on my hand for you guys. I may, when the collection releases, I might purchase another one of these because I really like it. Then the next one is Cersei Lannister, and this one is a metallized finish. I wore this one the other day mixed in with Sansa, and it just made it a little bit more wearable for me because it's a pretty, kind of a metallic bronzy brown shade. And then the packaging on this one looks like that. And then this next one is called White Walker, and it is a comfort matte. So this is the outside packaging. I haven't worn this one. I just don't really get a ton of use out of really dark lipsticks. But their comfort matte formula does have silicones in it, so it's not super drying. So that one is White Walker. And then this last one is called Daenerys Targaryen, and this is a metallized as well. Oh, for funny, I have these caps backwards. I'm like, Daenerys Targaryen shouldn't have this icy blue cap on it. So I had the white, this is definitely the White Walker cap. Let me switch these. So the Comfort Matte and White Walker, that's this one's packaging. And then this one here, the Daenerys Targaryen in the metallized finish, has this packaging. Because I set them all up to take a picture and have the caps off, and I put it back on wrong. So this one is a metallized finish, and it's just a red color right there. It's kind of more of a berry red. Both of them kind of have a berry hint to them. So you have Daenerys Targaryen, White Walker, Cersei Lannister, and Sansa Stark right there. This next product is the Dracarius Lip and Cheek Stain, and this is what the outside box packaging looks like on this. Today is the first day that I use this. This is a liquid cheek stain. There's 0.44 ounces of product in there, and it comes with a dropper. And the way that I had used it is I took this kind of more dense synthetic brush. This is a Unit 109 synthetic, which I've really been enjoying for like more cream type products. Beautylish sent me over this whole range, so that's where these unit brushes are sold. But I used this and I put a drop of it on my hand, and then I dipped the brush in it like this, and I pounced it between kind of the highlight and bronze area on my cheeks. And I was a little nervous doing it because I was thinking it might lift up my foundation or my powder, and it didn't. And I was really surprised how much I like the glow that it gave my cheek. On top of the palette that I'm going to show you in a minute, the face palette, this really kind of amped up the glow on my cheeks. I really like it. I typically don't use a ton of like cheek stain products or even like cream cheek products in general, but I don't know, I think my cheek looks really nice and glowy. And because this didn't lift up my foundation, which is typically the problem that I have with using cream products, I'm probably going to use this quite a bit. And this does have a cheek stain effect. Because mine is over foundation, I don't think it'll really stain the skin. But let's do a little dropper here to show you what it looks like. It goes on a little intimidating looking. Oh my gosh, it kind of looks like blood. And then I just took this brush and I went like this with it over my cheeks, and I already had the highlighter and bronze on, but I think it turned out really pretty. I really have been enjoying my cheek glow today. So like I just wiped that off with like a cloth, and you can see that there's still some staining on the skin. So that's the Dracarius Lip and Cheek Stain. And then next up we have got the Mother of Dragons Highlight Palette. There are 3 pressed powders in here that are 0.14 ounces per shade. The box packaging on here is pretty. It's kind of embossed to look like dragon scales, which I think is super cool. Again, I'm probably going to end up keeping all the packaging on this. It's a very rare occasion that I keep the packaging on stuff. But the actual packaging of the palette mimics that as well, where it's kind of embossed as dragon scales on there. I don't know why. I think it's cool that it says HBO on there. But anyway, there is a little mirror in there, and then it flips back and you have got 3 shades. When I first saw this, I was thinking to myself, you know, the pink looks too pink to be a highlighter on me. These 2 shades look too dark to be highlighters on me. And they're all shimmery. So I was like, what am I going to do with this? But when I had started to use all of the pieces in the collection, I was like, I'm just going to use this on my face for the color, and I really like the look that came out of it. I used this to bronze up. Again, these all have shimmer in them, and I think the glowy bronze that it gives my skin is very pretty. It's not overly shimmery. So for a bronzer on my skin tone, it worked. I think that would be a really pretty highlighter on a deeper skin tone as well. Same with this one. I did use Drogon as a highlighter, and what I did was I brought it up real high and I buffed it kind of low, kind of mid cheek, and matched up that bronzer with that highlighter. And the first time that I did it, I didn't use that cheek stain. And I really liked the way that it looked. The 2 shades kind of meshed together where I didn't even really need a blush. And it looked really pretty. And now that I use the cheek stain today, I like the combination of both of these products together. I think that it turned out really nice. So I only used Drogon on the cheeks and on the highlight portion on my cheek. And then I used Viserion on the other highlight points. So like above the brow, a little bit on my nose, above my lip, those portions. And then I bronzed up with Regal. So all of the powders are shimmery, and the formulation of these is that thicker type of formula. So if you're familiar with their pressed powder highlighters, it's kind of similar to that, where if you don't really buff the product in, it can emphasize texture a little bit because it is a thicker formulated product. I really buffed that highlighter out on the top of my cheekbones, and I just think it looks so pretty, especially with that cheek stain. But keep in mind, these are thicker products. I'll give you some swatches here. They blend it out really nice though. So if I kind of do a little bit of blending for you, you can kind of tell that there are some silicones in the powder just because of the thickness of them. But altogether, I was really surprised. Like normally I would have never went into it like that, but I wanted to just focus everything on my face for the collection. And again, I really like how it turned out. So that is the Mother of Dragons highlight palette. This is one, this is another one of the products that I'm contemplating getting a backup for. Next up, the collection did come with 2 brushes, which are far more detailed in person than I thought that they were going to be. These are the boxes. You have got Jon Snow's Longclaw and Arya Stark's Needle, which they both carry swords. So here is Jon Snow's Longclaw. I mean, look at the detail. He's got little red eyeballs, and I think that these are supposed to be their wolves. It looks kind of like a wolf head there. And Jon Snow had a white wolf. So it's a synthetic blender brush, and I used this quite a few times to blend out kind of through the crease right there, and it did a really good job of that. I will say I am somebody that holds my brush further down on the handle. So I hold my brush kind of where the handles on the sword are. So those are a little bit in the way for me for how I kind of hold a brush. So I had to hold it a little bit further down, which made it a little bit awkward just because I don't hold a brush like that. But otherwise, in terms of like makeup collecting, and if you're a fan of the show, these are really, really cute. Really, really cool little brushes. So that's Jon Snow's Longclaw. And then the other brush is called Arya Stark's Needle. And the head of this brush looks more kind of like a smaller concealer brush. Again, it's a synthetic bristled, but I wanted to use these brushes when I was using like the palette and stuff like that. So I used it kind of how I use a flat shader. Again, I had to hold it a little bit further down. And this is a little bit smaller than something that I'm used to for packing on color, but the brush itself worked fine. And I used, I think, 3 colors on the lid, so it made product placement a little bit more precise, but it took me a little bit more to blend it out because it's a smaller brush. So that is Arya Stark's Needle right there. And then lastly, we have got the eyeshadow palette. Now, I think when this goes on sale, this will probably have a box on it. But the way this came in the PR box, it was just sitting in there like this. So inside of here, you have got 16 eyeshadows that are 0.03 ounces per shade. So those would be the square shades, which is on the smaller end of the spectrum in terms of the amount of product that you're getting. And then the 4 larger round circles are 0.05 ounces per shade. So that's a kind of medium amount of product that you're getting there. So this is a cardboard packaging. It's pretty large. You open it up in here and there's a mirror, and then inside of here it says Lannister, Targaryen, Baratheon, Stark, Tyrell. They're all just spokes on a wheel. This one's on top, then that one's on top, and on it spins, crushing those on the ground. And then it says Daenerys Targaryen, so you can see all my crap in the background. But that's what it says right there. And then you open it up and there's the throne. And inside of there, it says, never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not wear it like armor, and it can never be used to hurt you. And that's from Tyrion Lannister. That's what it says inside of there. I think it's cute. Some people have said it's bulky. Is it bulky? Yeah, but it's still cute. And then I appreciate the fact that this palette comes all the way out of the casing. So if you didn't want to hold this while you're using it, you could pull it all the way out. And then the back of the box looks like that, and the back of the palette is just black. And then you have 4 sections. You have got the White Walkers, Winterfell, King's Landing, and then you have got the Bay of Dragons. So far, I've been really impressed with the foiled and shimmery shadows. They also have a thicker kind of silicone texture to them. It has one shade down here called Bend the Knee, which is like one of my favorite purple, blue, shifty duochromes down here. So pretty. These colors here, again, are a little bit thicker in texture. They can kind of be a little flaky. I did use those Urban Decay brushes when I was picking those up. Had I used a larger flat shader, I don't think I would have gotten so much kind of kick up in the pan. But the shades themselves are really pretty on. They're very nice and foily and shiny. There are only 3 mattes in this eyeshadow palette. You've got House of Lannister, Lannister Red, and Nymeria. Those are the only 3 mattes, and they're all really warm matte brown shades. I felt like I had to do something with the blues today and kind of mix it in with the warms. So I kind of feel like the White Walkers are invading King's Landing on my eyeballs. But if you're big on mattes, again, there are only 3 of them in here. White Walker was a little bit thick and a little bit hard to pick up the product. Again, I used the Urban Decay brushes. I just kind of had to jab that. I had to jab the little sword brush inside the shade to get it to kind of pick up. But the color on, I think it turned out really pretty. But let me go ahead and give you guys some swatches. I'll go ahead and swatch them in 4s like that, and then the 4 down the side. Should I zoom in a little bit here? So we'll start off with these 4 right here. This blue shade. Urban Decay really does a wicked blue. Oh, I still have those on, sorry. That black does have kind of a matte base with silver glitters in it, micro glitters. Ooh. Then we'll do Winterfell section. Here's one of the mattes. And then King's Landing. This one has got the other 2 mattes in it. At least the 3 mattes that are in here coordinate really well together because they're all warm browns. And then this last section here, which has got some of my favorite shades in it. This color is so pretty. And then we'll go ahead and swatch these shades going down. Let's put you right there, and you right there, and oh, focus, camera focus. And then you right there. I'm trying to so you can see the sections right there. This is one of my favorite shades in the palette too. Super pretty. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Some of these shades are a little crumbly. However, I tapped my brush off and I had very, very little fallout with any of the shades that I've used from this palette so far. Now, each time I've used this palette, I did use those matte shades. And I am kind of hit or miss with Urban Decay mattes. I have to watch about how much I blend them, because the more that I blend them, the more they'll stop building and blending, and then I chance getting some patchiness in there. So like right on this outer corner, I don't know, I'm trying to move my eyelash. Right on this outer corner, I did get some patchiness with that today. The first few times that I've used this, I hadn't, but I really was blending out those eyeshadows, so that probably did that. I do have that issue with Urban Decay matte eyeshadows. But other than that, the shimmers are really pretty. I think that this is a fun palette. If you don't like a lot of shimmer, you know, and this one isn't probably going to be one for your everyday gal. But if you're a big Game of Thrones fan, I think this is a super fun collection. I kind of just feel grateful that a great big makeup brand did a collaboration with such an epic show, and that they released this collaboration in the first place. I just think it's wonderful. I hope they keep doing more. I wrote on my Instagram, I was like, can somebody do a collaboration with Vikings? That's my other favorite show, and that's on the History Channel. Does any of you guys watch Vikings? I love Vikings. Bjorn Ironside, Lagertha. But anyways, I hope you guys found that helpful. Now, if you're interested in seeing how those products went on for me, I'm wearing a ton of them on my face right now. We will get into the demo portion of this video. On this Chikuhodo highlight brush, I'm going to go into the shade Drogon, which is the pink in the Mother of Dragons highlight palette. And I'm going to put that above my cheekbones, and I'm going to bring it down to where I put blush. And I'm going to meet it up with kind of that bronzy shade. I did this other day and it turned out so pretty. I'm just going to bring it down kind of far. Using that same brush, I'm going to go into the shade Viserion, which is the middle one. And I'm going to put that on kind of the other points of my face that I like to highlight. Tip of my nose above my lip. It is a little bit too dark, but I can make it work if I blend it out. Kind of a gold. And then using a MAC 125 SE brush, I'm going to go into the shade Regal right there, which it's shimmery, but it's a kind of a bronze on my skin tone. And I'm going to bronze my face, and I'm going to meet it up with that highlight shade, that pinky color. When I had done this the other day, I didn't even put a blush on, and it looked really pretty. But today I might try those liquid drops over powder and see how it goes. My camera does pick up that bronze and stuff really, really strong. It doesn't look as strong in person as it does on the camera. I'm looking into trying out maybe a new setup with a new lighting, because I'm having a hard time with my lower back and my hips standing up, even though this is my favorite way to do it. It's becoming difficult. I'm getting old. I'm going to use this Rephr 05 brush, and again with Regal, and put that kind of on my forehead here. It actually makes a really pretty glowy bronzer, that Regal shade. I'm going to put it underneath my jaw and kind of down my neck too. A little on the ear. I made the mistake of setting my face and my under eyes with a new Physicians Formula powder, because I'm trying to find a good one for the summer that has SPF. And I'm kind of odd colored looking. And underneath my eyes it doesn't look cute, but we're just going to roll with it. I was like, I'm not washing my face off. I'm going to grab that highlight brush and just buff this right here. Then I'm going to take a Unit 109 brush, and I'm going to try out the Game of Thrones Dracarius lip and cheek stain. I'm going to put a few drops on my hand and go in it with this brush and tap it on and see how it goes. I'm hoping, I haven't used this on my face. I've used quite a bit of the other products, but not this. But I'm hoping it doesn't lift up my foundation. Is it picking up? Hey, that's pretty. foundation isn't lifting either. Yay! That really looks nice. I'm going to dab back into Drogon with this brush just a little bit to make sure that this top is nicely blended. Right here. Oh, we doggone. I didn't think I was going to even use those drops. Normally I'd go into my Guerlain Meteorites, but the setting powder that I used over my foundation today, it looks like it's deepening up in spots, and I'm going to try to fix it. I'm going to go in with the Hourglass Ethereal Light Ambient Lighting Powder, which is kind of a lighter white shade, and try to lighten that up a little bit. And I'm going to use a Refer 06 powder brush for that. I'm going to really kind of concentrate on the center of my face because I can see that powder really deepened up. I wish I would have never did that today. Why was I trying new things today? Why? I should have saved it for tomorrow. I'm just going to buff this all over the face. Well, that's looking kind of pretty. That ethereal light really helped out my situation there. I'm kind of tripping about how pretty my cheeks look. I'm going to take this Milk Kush lip balm and put this on my lips. Now using the Physicians Formula Insta Ready Full Coverage Concealer SPF 30. I hope they didn't discontinue this because I really like it for an eyeshadow primer. I'm going to prime my lids with this, and I'm going to use a Fenty 180 concealer brush. I'm going to prime the up to the brow and the outer corner of my eye to the crease and kind of leave this portion open because I'm going to use one of the eyeliners there. Then I'm going to take the 24/7 Glide On pencil in Lannister Gold. This pencil is stunning. I'm going to put it on the first kind of portion of my lid here. Then I'm going to take this little flat brush and I'm going to go into the shade Hard Home, which is right there. I'm going to put that over that eye pencil and see what happens. I haven't tried this combo yet, but I want to use the blues with the warms and see where it goes. Hey, that's kind of pretty. Ooh, that is really pretty. Yeah. Then using that same brush, I'm going to go into the shade Frozen North, which is right there. And I'm going to blend it into the Hard Home shade and all the way out and up above the crease so that you can see it when I blink real well. Oh my gosh, that blue is flipping pretty, hey. Just kind of angle it down like that. I'm going to flip that brush around and go into the shade White Walker and put that right here. Cool. I'm kind of living for the effect. Grab a little bit more of Hard Home here. Now I'm going to bring in a Chikuhodo GSN 9 and go into the shade Lannister Red. Oh, my tissue. That ain't cute. And I'm going to pick that guy up and put it through the crease. I'm going to try not to blend into that blue too much here. In the frame, okay. Now I'm going to take this Refer P07C brush and I'm going to go into the shade Nymeria, which is right there. These last two shades are both mattes. I'm going to blend this out. I should have done my lid actually in this situation after this because that blue is really pigmented. I have to really be careful not to grab some of that. I'm just going to go over kind of that area right there. Then I'm going to use an Esom G29 brush. This is a Kevyn Aucoin Single Shadow in 101 Bone. And it's just a matte brow bone. And I'm going to set the rest of this before I bring in that other shade. Now I'm going to take my other little sword brush and I'm going to go into House Lannister, which is right there. And I'm going to put it through here. Blend it up. There is the shadow done. I'm really digging it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eye makeup and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. I'm going to take a Q-tip and wipe off my waterline first to kind of help make it last longer. Just go like this. And then I'm going to go in with the shade. This is called the Night King. Ugh, stay in frame, Tara. This color is so pretty. I have got an old school Urban Decay 24/7 glide on pencil in the shade Wallflower. This is so old. Still works. So I'm going to line my lips with this guy. I'm going to fade it in too. Then I'm just going to play it safe and I'm going to go in with the Sansa Stark sheer lipstick. I feel like there's kind of a lot of popping going on in the eyes, so we're just going to, you know, do the nude. I'm just going to go over it with that. And there is the overall finished look using the Urban Decay and Game of Thrones collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen and I'll see you guys later. Bye.